Three, two, one.
Boom, and welcome to the Big Honker podcast brought to you by blindgrass.com. I'm Jeff Stanfield.
I'm Andy Shaver, and across the way, Senior Stoner.
Hello, world.
Hello, world.
Before we get all into this podcast, I want to bring up something that was brought to my attention, and this could be a candidate for Asshole of the Year.
Uh-oh.
And we're going to have a little segment we're going to do when hunting season's over. I want all the guides that listen to this and outfitters, and there's a lot of you out there that do, to send me an email about your biggest asshole of the year. And then I'm going to tell stories about the assholes. I'm going to talk about them. And then we will pick one to be the asshole of the country.
Asshole of the flyway.
Yes, asshole of the flyways. But I heard one yesterday. A guy went on a crane hunt in West Texas. And they hunted. They had a hard hunt. And with them ladies in the background, hush up over there a little bit. Hey, ladies.
Quiet in the back.
Ladies, on set, hush. So, anyways, they don't even hear us. So, anyways, guy gets done on the hunt. They had a slow hunt, and he tells the guide, he says, when I go eat dinner at a restaurant, if the waitress doesn't bring me my meal, I don't tip her. And since you didn't bring me cranes to shoot, I'm not going to tip you. And did not tip and walk off.
I told you, that's fighting words.
Some guy named Dan from Central Texas told this guy that. I can't remember his last name, or I'd say it. What an asshole.
Yeah, that's
Wouldn't you rather him just get in your car and leave? Don't say nothing.
Well, it's like, fuck. That's like not tipping the waitress because the food didn't taste.
Yeah, she didn't make the food. It's her service.
Too.
You know, it's two different things.
Yeah.
But the guide works hard, and the guide works harder on tough hunts than he does on good hunts.
Oh, you got to.
Yes. And then for someone to say something like that is just rude. I mean, it's just what an asshole.
They shot a couple, you said?
I don't know what they shot. I don't know if they shot one,
okay.
two. It was a slow hunt. It was not a very good hunt, the guy told me. And he told me, he said, listen, a buddy of mine told me to tell you this. And so he told me.
Well,
I said, that's a bunch of shit.
Here's the deal. If we don't get any weather, it's going to be tough for everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think it
in
is.
the bottom of the flyway.
I know lots of guys that are out. There's a lot of places, and I know some of them that shot them up today, and I know some guys had slow hunts.
Yep.
And the guys that are shooting them up right now, if the weather don't change, they're going to have some days they're going to be on the slow end of the stick. It's going to rotate around. It's weather related. But to tell someone that, if you're not going to, just don't say shit at all. Just get in your car and drive off and look like a cheap asshole instead of a real asshole.
Fuck. I don't know.
We've had, and I mean, it's all over. Here's the deal: in the grand scheme of things, it's all over a fucking bird.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
And it's not like it's over, fucking lobectomy and lung cancer or anything like that. It's a recreational thing.
Yeah.
Do you get pissed off if you go to a football game and your team doesn't win?
Yeah, sometimes.
Well,
But do you want your money back?
No.
Do you demand a refund?
No.
I mean, do you go up to the
If you're a
front
Dallas
desk?
Cowboy fan and you've bought season tickets the last 25 years, you probably have a legit bitch to want some money back.
Yeah, but I mean, it's the same deal.
It's entertainment. That's right.
It's entertainment. It's entertainment is all that it is.
Entertainment without guaranteed results.
Well, that's kind of like the same way as the asshole of the year from
ours last year.
I had.
Oh, that guy was a douche.
We just got lunch line and the hunting was tough. Same thing. It was warm, not much wind. So it was like, go get your tip from Jeff.
Yeah, and they didn't give one.
Motherfucker was not there.
We
have figured this out. The weeks that the year when you leave in this hunting season is always the toughest week, hunting wise.
Why is that?
Because last year's
It's 80 degrees. It's fucking hot.
So you think I leave just because it gets hard?
The first week that you guys go to Oklahoma,
it's always tough.
hot.
It's always tough and hot,
And like that goes back a couple years ago. Like the first week that you leave, it's always hot, and the hunting is always tough.
Well, then I'm going to push my Oklahoma trip back to the last weekend in January, okay?
I mean, I don't know what it is, but I don't know what it is. Anyway, you were about to say something. You said you remembered. Or no, maybe you said you remembered.
I can't remember what I was going to say.
You were about to say something, and I rudely interrupted you.
What was I about to say?
Well, regardless, it was a shitty tip. It happens sometimes. This week has been a hard week for us.
Yeah.
We're busy, and that's why this is the first podcast of the week to come out. Well, I tell you what, we've had good customers. Every group of customers we've had, but we have 2 groups that are podcast listeners. The Vega group out of California just left. Great guys, perfect gentlemen, great. We enjoy having them up here, and the Sussler group from Louisiana.
Yeah,
what good guys those. Both groups are great guys. And
the guys from California are just happy to be out of California.
Yeah,
no shit. They were funny too. Good group of guys.
Good guys. But I tell you what, I really appreciate the groups of guys that we have that are all waterfowl hunters because they understand. They know. You don't have to explain. I still explain to them. And then the group of old men that left today, they were they're just happy to be alive, basically. Not because they're old, but just to get out of the house during this pandemic shit.
They haven't been able to do nothing.
No, not at all. You know, it really shows. You can tell people are just happy to go. Right. One guy kind of made me sad in there. He was telling me about he's lost a couple of businesses because of this.
Really?
Mm-hmm. He said, I haven't had a paycheck since December.
God almighty.
Ooh. I thought, God, that has got to suck. He said, I was fixing to retire. I'll bet you he's not voting for Gavin Newsom.
No. I don't know. Who is voting for Gavin Newsom?
The Dominion voting machines, probably.
I mean,
Los Angeles County.
Yeah, but I mean, you can't be happy that you're locked in your house.
Do you really believe that? Do you think they've fucked with the voting machines? Do you think so? I do.
Yeah,
I believe that's a true deal.
What's this lawsuit that's coming up?
It's about the voting machines and everything else. It's not constitutional. You're supposed to vote a certain way. I don't know all the details. I had a guy.
Texas is
suing, and then all the other states are jumping on board.
Huh.
Let's face it. We live in the state with the most power of any state there is.
Texas?
Yes, by far.
What do you mean?
Texas is the most powerful state in the United States. It gets more respect. It pulls more deal. Well, Josh is from Maryland. If Maryland was suing right now, there might be people jumping on and they're not on board. But other states jump on when Texas does something because they think it's good for the country.
Right.
And I really believe that. I'm a Texan, so I'm pretty biased on that. But I had a guy talk to me today about the Article 3. One of our clients called. He's a big law guy, and he was telling me about it. We were talking about it today, and he told me that there's some more stuff coming. He's connected with some guys in Congress, and me and him talked about that. We both agreed on the same thing. If they don't fix this, the whole basis of what our country is founded on is over. We're supposed to be a country of rules and laws. We have a constitution we go by, and he told me, he said, if they don't fix that, he said, we're in big, big trouble as a country. And I said, boy, we sure are. And he said they're telling them that if this happens and they don't fix it and we lose those 2 seats in Georgia, which we shouldn't lose one of them, but we should win at least one of them, that the United States is going to do a big gun buyback by February 15th.
Think so.
That's what he said. He said that's what the Republicans or the congressmen are telling them guys, that's what's at stake. But
what's a buyback? Like that's voluntary, isn't it?
Yeah, I just don't know how that works. They're going to buy back your guns or go take them, kind of. I don't know. I don't know all the rules on all that shit, so I'm not going to speak out loud on that.
We're going to find out where Maryland stands because it's one of those. It could go either way. It's a tweener.
Yeah. Well,
I don't think so. I think there's a lot more conservatives than people get credit for.
There's 2 counties in the state of Maryland. I'd say would probably run. Well, if you include Baltimore City, there's Prince George's County and Montgomery County. Like Anne Arundel County, where Annapolis is, that's where our state capital is. It's probably, it might lean a little bit more blue, but yeah, Montgomery, Prince George's County, which are right there on the outer loop of the D.C., the Beltway and stuff, and then Baltimore City. That's literally the only reason our state goes blue.
I read something the other day, and I don't know how true it was or not, that Biden won 11% of the counties in the United States. He won 16%?
Yep.
Only 16% of the counties. Now, that's not people, those are counties, and that's a different thing, but we're at a time right now where the people on the outside are getting screwed on this election thing, and this Dominion shit is. Yeah. But how many elections have we went through with this same shit happened? How many senators are in office right now and congressmen because of the Dominion software?
Probably goes back to the Clintons.
Oh, I think it goes back before Clinton's even, but at least to the Clintons. And we got some major issues. We need to. I mean, this is going to be a big thing in our country.
There's no sense to vote anymore.
No, that's exactly
And I've
right.
told you
Why
that
vote?
before. Why vote if it's going to be? Well, thanks, but no thanks.
I mean, are you really going to honestly recognize Joe Biden as president if they cheated to get there? I don't.
No.
I mean, he'd be the whoever they call fucking president. I'd say my time to go fuck off.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people with me that's got a whole lot worse attitudes than I have. I mean, why support anything that the government's got? I mean, they're screwing you anyways. We're on a real slippery slope on this deal.
You're going to find out a lot about the people in this country in the next probably 6 to 12 months.
Yep.
I think you're going to be disappointed.
You think so?
Yeah. With like people standing up and all that stuff, it's not going to happen.
I don't know. I think this is going to be a different
it
kind
would
of
be hard.
standing up.
It would be. It's hard to rock the apple cart too hard.
I don't think there would be a civil war, but there's going to be a lot of pretty much fuck you, I'm not doing what you say.
I think so
deal.
too. I think we're seeing that now in California and a lot of places. I think the deal is you're going to see it's not going to be like the Black Lives Matter guys will go around burning up a fucking Target and shit.
No.
We ain't going to do that shit. But I think there's going to be a lot more militias. I still think there's going to be a purge of politicians. I think there's some radical fucking right-wing groups, some real far right, really wacko fucking people. They're going to start shooting people. I really do. And I'm not condoning that by any means. I'm just telling you, I think because there's the far left wing, but most of them guys are pussies. You know, they they can't. They're video game playing people. Right. Them far fucking right guys, those some bitches are scary to me. I mean, they've got bullets stockaded up, and the preppers that are just. There are people out there that are just looking for an excuse to go postal. And this thing, this election thing might trigger some of them fuckers.
I think the only thing that it wouldn't stop them as much because they'd have a lot more people that would be behind it than hate them for it.
Oh, especially nowadays.
Yeah.
After all this shit, the election stuff, I didn't see nothing. Well. I mean, you can only push people so far. Yeah. And I don't think they meant to cheat this bad. I think they didn't realize they were getting their ass beat that bad, and so they had to. But I don't think Trump would have won in 2016 if they thought he had a chance. They wouldn't have let that happen.
You think Dominion would have been deployed in 2016?
Yes. And he snuck up on them, and that's why they didn't have Biden go fucking campaign. They didn't have to. They knew they were going to win this regardless. And I mean, they shut down 8 states, stopped counting votes, middle of the night. That's never happened before. In Atlanta, they called in a fake water pipe that never busted. They got all this evidence now showing all this shit, and then they just want to act like it didn't happen. Well, you can't do that shit. People here caught on to this shit.
Yeah, no shit.
Do you think that the government controls the weather?
If they do, they're not waterfowl hunters.
They said that's been going on since like the 60s.
Yeah, what's it called?
HAARP.
HAARP.
I listened to the deal on it the other day. What is the benefactor of not having winter then?
I don't know. I mean, I guess everybody be happier.
Who the hell's happy? I'm not.
Oh, fuck. I guarantee you that there's more people that are happy that it's 70 degrees than are pissed off.
What?
I think we're the only. I think we're the only people that are mad.
What's a big agenda of the left?
Global warming.
Global warming. Yeah, that's true. Just to make it like that, so they can push their
cause.
Like, oh, they're talking about this. It's been pretty hot the last few winters.
I mean, and it's hard.
Maybe it's right.
If you look at it just off of the numbers, it's hard to say it's not warming. Changing. I'm all for climate change. Not necessarily global warming.
Motherfuckers, global warming. I'm on the global warming bandwagon today because it's been freaking 80 freaking degrees now for a couple of days almost. Yeah.
Picking up this morning.
But do you think that the government controls the weather to push the global warming agenda?
There's too much. I'll say this: there's too much technology to where they couldn't.
Right. See, I don't.
Alter something.
It takes a lot of power and generate power to move low pressure systems and stuff.
I don't know.
Oh, if they are.
Yeah, but if we can harness nuclear energy, what can they do with the sky?
I don't know. All I can say is this: if they are, they don't like fucking people in southern Louisiana because they keep sending every fucking hurricane there.
And that's another thing. Like, has Louisiana ever been hit with 5 consecutive hurricanes like that? Ever? I mean, you're talking. It hit the exact same spot within.
It's like it went to flood down there or something.
Wasn't there a big fuss about Katrina. Well, they said they were like, "Oh, the government had to do this shit to us."
Yeah, I don't
know. I mean, it's interesting to talk about.
Here's the thing. What's happened isn't helping for crops. If you use common sense and you say, well, the oceans are rising, well, why did Big Mike and Obama buy a $14 million place on Martha's Vineyard on the water if they were worried about it coming a big flood? I don't have a clue. I tell you what we've come into with our country is we've become England in the days of the monarch. We've got these super families that control everything. They get money from everything. They don't do shit.
And the people are just coming accustomed to
and they set rules up, and we accept it.
Yeah.
We accept whatever they do and the rules that they have. Whatever the rules they want to go by, everybody goes by.
That's why we left that fucking place.
That's right. But we ain't got nowhere else to go.
That's true.
But we are at that point again.
We can take Canada over.
What's it called? Taxation without representation? Mm-hmm. I mean, that's what we're getting. I mean, we get the shit taxed out of us on every freaking thing we do. You think about it. Every ammunition, they want to add more to it. They want to tax guns more. They want to do cigarettes. I don't smoke. You smoke. They want to do alcohol sales. They want to do everything.
Speaking of taxes, I didn't realize the sales tax in Texas was higher than Maryland. But
we don't have state income tax.
You don't have income tax. That's where it kind of
8.25% is our sales tax.
I think it's fair trade.
Maryland's 6%.
I will take my 2% more for sales tax.
For a cheap ass that doesn't buy anything, it's a great deal.
Well, according to the state of Maryland, I don't make a whole lot of money.
Nobody does. According to the state of Texas, I don't make shit either. And I really don't, is what's bad.
You qualify for stamps.
I qualify for everything.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, it's
government cheese.
Yeah, I got that government cheese in my house. But I don't know. I just wonder, if the big man up top is stopping the cold weather from coming.
Who's running things though? Because we know it's not the president of the United States because he's on our side on everything, and they've tried to fight him.
He loves winter. His son is a hunter, so he knows what our struggle.
Yeah.
But who do you think's running all this shit?
The Rothschilds.
You think they're the ones that told him to shut the voting machines off?
I don't know.
I mean, seriously, somebody somewhere has got some pool that is doing a bunch of shit. Who told Fulton County to call in a water leak?
Oh, you're talking about everything.
Every fucking thing happens. Somebody somewhere is pushing some buttons.
The Illuminati.
Well, I don't know. It's got to be somewhere Bill Gates along, not necessarily Bill Gates, but somewhere in that line of.
But Bill Gates hadn't been around for that long.
How do you know he's not around?
He was poor 35 years ago or
Doesn't
something.
Matter. All you gotta do is make the right connection with the right amount of money, and you're pulling the purse string.
No. I understand that now. But I'm saying someone has been doing this for a long time before Bill Gates got money.
When did this start?
I think that we're probably seeing it since Ronald Reagan, Bill Clinton. Bill Gates wasn't relevant then. I'm not saying he don't have enough money now to be involved in all that shit. So is Jeffrey Bezos. I don't think I'm not saying it's not the wealthiest person in the world, but somebody somewhere is pulling the strings. Who said they needed to kill John F. Kennedy?
John Denver.
Well, no, he shot him. He shot him. But who pulled them strings?
Fuck, I don't know.
Was it LBJ or was LBJ? It was somebody a puppet master for him.
The Treasury.
Well, it's the Illuminati.
There's a big deal on the a conspiracy theory on the Federal Reserve. There's a big bunch on that stuff.
What's the conspiracy? That there's nothing in it. It's empty.
No. That those people were all got together and had big meetings. You have to. It's a pretty in depth deal, but
pretty much the Federal Reserve runs the world.
Yeah, I think maybe the Vanderbilt family or Rockefeller, somebody in them a long time ago when the Federal Reserve come in, 1890s.
Oh shit, I don't know.
But anyways, when they started regulating the money stuff. Central Bank, I read on this, and I should know this because I just forgotten it.
1872 or something.
I don't remember, but it was put in place to regulate the banks so there would be a steady, like the banks wouldn't get robbed by somebody and go out of broke, and everybody and the community would lose stuff. They were backed by FDIC.
1913.
Really?
When did the Titanic sink? Because that had something to do with it too. Just look that up, and then you're gonna go. Oh,
I think 1919.
Look up and see when they did. Somebody that was either on the Federal Reserve, a couple of people on the Federal Reserve Board, or something else was on the Titanic when it sank.
I thought they said there was a bunch of gold. that they were bringing over.
There was something on the Titanic.
1912.
Okay, and in 1913, that was somebody that was part of the that was going to be the ground floor of the Federal Reserve, or somebody that was against it. That's what it was. There was a congressman that was fighting it, that was on that, and he died in that boat. A couple of people that were against the Federal Reserve were on that boat, and they said that it was taken down on purpose. I don't buy that shit.
The craziest Titanic conspiracy theories explained.
Here we go.
Did a mummy curse cause the Titanic to sink?
No.
Have you heard about that, Jeff? No. Martin Luther King's assassination.
He wasn't on the Titanic.
Well, Jeff?
His grandfather might have been a porter on that deal, but he was not there.
I've got to do some reading, so y'all go ahead and talk. Millionaires Jacob Astor, Isidor Strauss, and Benjamin Guggenheim.
Yep, those were the guys that died on the Titanic. Every one of them.
J.P. Morgan planned the disaster to kill his rivals.
Yep.
That's what it was right there.
Yep.
According to this theory, millionaire banker J.P. Morgan planned the Titanic disaster to kill off rival millionaires Jacob Astor, Isidor Strauss, and Benjamin Guggenheim, who all perished aboard.
And I think all of them were against the Federal Reserve, and he was for the Federal Reserve or something. It had something to do with the Federal Reserve, though.
The theory hinges on the fact that Morgan had originally planned to sail on the Titanic, but changed his mind shortly before it took off. Yet, it doesn't offer any explanation for how he caused the ship to hit an iceberg and kill over 1,500
I don't
people.
think that happened. I think that was a. I think that was an accident.
To top it off,
the
theory claims Morgan wanted to kill them because they opposed the creation of the Federal Reserve, even though Astor and Guggenheim don't appear to have taken a position on it, and Strauss actually supported it.
Strauss was Levi Strauss family, I think.
I don't know.
I think he was.
Couldn't tell you.
I think he was the Levi Strauss guy.
I have no
Anyways, that's the deal on the Federal Reserve. So we're going back to then, but back to Bill Gates. I don't know how Bill Gates somehow is in on this Wuhan lab shit. And he's a real rich guy, and he thinks he needs to control everybody. But somebody somewhere is pulling strings on all this shit. And I would like to know what's their motive? Do they want a one world government? Because I don't want to be pulled in with all them third world trash holes.
No.
But what's the why do they fundamentally want to change the United States of America? It's the greatest place on earth. People fight to get over here. Nobody ever tries to break in to go to another fucking country. You know, we take so many freedoms that we have for granted, and we've had some of them removed because of this COVID bullshit.
And they've let them do it.
They have.
I don't know.
Maybe I think there was a mummy on board the Titanic.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
But wouldn't you like to know who is pulling the strings to this?
I think everybody wants to know.
Yeah, I mean, there's somebody somewhere that's doing all this stuff.
The ship's number read backwards says no Pope.
So it's an anti-Catholic person?
Evidently, the numbers of the Titanic was 390904. And if you read that backwards, it says no Pope.
I think people are struggling there. Just
Okay.
All QAnon people. That's what it says. No, these are like QAnon conspiracies.
Did Logan Pye text you all this?
No, this is on history.com, but it's saying that all these resurfaced after QAnon kind of got a hold of it.
Michelle's into that shit too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and
we're going to find out how right they are on a lot of this shit. Because they're saying, there's going to be all this revolt
aliens.
and all this other stuff.
Aliens are real.
if they overthrow this vote deal and Trump stays in office, then I won't bitch about QAnon. I'll say, you know what, you're right.
You know what? They got a lot right on
You got
this
that
one.
point right. Because up until now, I've been waiting for this mass communication deal.
QAnon's pretty much saying Trump's still going to be president.
Supposedly it's Trump's people, or Trump is QAnon.
He's a member,
And he's
honorary
been,
member.
he feeds them information. And people like Logan and my wife and Christy Howarth in town, they buy into this shit.
But I mean, a lot of these conspiracies that everybody keeps touting off that's going to happen, they're gonna reverse the election results. And
Have we looked towards The Simpsons to see what's going to happen?
that is true.
I need to figure up and see if Trump is reelected.
Yeah.
If he lets us know, it will, because them some bitches are right on everything.
Oh, shit. Every
Fucking thing. They even picked the Dallas Cowboys to go to Super Bowl again before the year 3000.
Well, that might be doable.
Did you see where Troy Aikman pissed the Cowboy people off yesterday?
What did he do?
He said the Cowboys are now irrelevant again.
He said that?
Fuck. They've been irrelevant.
Hey,
since he retired.
the rumor that I saw is Jets go 0-16. They get the first pick.
Mm-hmm.
They trade the number 1 overall pick to Dallas for Dak Prescott.
But I put a bullet in that because Dak's not signed. He's a restricted free. I mean, he's an unrestricted free agent. So Dallas can franchise him. Nobody else can franchise him.
Where's Zeke go?
I think Zeke gets cut and gets picked up by somebody like Denver. Oh, no, they wouldn't do it. They got Philip Lindsay and Gordon. I don't know where Zeke would end up going. Pittsburgh, maybe?
Yeah, you're
Do
saying
they
that
like
last
James
time.
Conner?
Yeah. He's a free agent, though. So
They don't hand him the fucking ball because he's on my fucking team, and Ben Roethlisberger throws the ball 50 times a fucking game.
But like he'll have a game. Say he has like 110, 115 rushing yards.
He's not done that
and
this year.
2-3 touchdowns, and then it'll be like 6 or 7 games, and he won't get shit.
is Zeke from Ohio or is he from Florida or Georgia or
I
somewhere?
think he's from Ohio.
I thought Zeke was from Miami.
I wonder if he ends up with it's like Cincinnati or somebody. You know, because Mixon has been hurt all year. I don't think Zeke ends up being a Dallas Cowboy next year. I think they cut him. They can't afford him, and I don't know what the buyout if they drop him. What the dead space would be? It might be too expensive.
It's not as bad as Carson Wentz is.
That's horrible.
Where does he go? Oh, I saw
He was going to sit on the bench
I
next
don't
year.
think
The
They
Colts.
can't cut him.
He'll hunt Wentz
Colts.
outdoors.
Now, if the Colts will trade for him,
Yeah.
Philadelphia's going to go. Whew, thank you.
God. Take him. Take him.
But why would the Colts want him?
I think Phillip Rivers is only a 1-year deal.
They're not going to bring him back either.
You don't think so?
He's horrible. I'm going to tell you
not
what.
bad.
He's better
Horrible.
than Carson Wentz.
You put
He hasn't
Carson
been
Wentz
horrible.
behind Indy's line. I'm going to give Carson some credit here. The Eagles' line is the worst in football. The worst in football. They've had everybody hurt and stuff. Indy's got a damn good offensive line. They run the ball a lot. He might be pretty good there again. So I'd give him a shot at that. I mean, he's a hell of a football player, but he's just beat the shit like David Carr was.
Yeah.
But
Derek Carr.
Derek Carr.
David
David
his
Carr,
brother.
his brother, who was with the Texans. If Dallas would trade Dak, if they could get Dak to sign with the Jets on like a 3-year contract and trade him, I would. I wish Dallas would do that because I don't think Trevor Lawrence. So many of them quarterbacks are misses when they get to the pros, you know. So who knows? Trevor Lawrence might be a star and he might be a bust. Dak Prescott is not a bad quarterback.
Justin Herbert's impressed me more than Joe Burrow has.
Both are good quarterbacks.
Yeah. A lot better than they thought he was going to do.
We've hit a run the last 3 years. We've had good young. Tua looks like he's still going to be a good quarterback. Kyler's a good quarterback. Herbert's a good quarterback. Then you have that class. Mitch Trubisky sucks.
Yeah.
But you got Mahomes and Deshaun Watson out of that class. They're both good.
That's the only two, really.
Yeah, who was the other one that was drafted in that class? Jameis Winston, maybe?
Yes.
Yeah, he's horrible. No, Jameis Winston's been around longer than that, hadn't he?
I don't think so.
Is he in that same class?
With who?
Jameis Winston.
With who?
With Mahomes
and
and Watson.
No, he's been around longer than
Who was the other quarterback? There was another quarterback in that draft taken, too.
What was that, 2015?
Yeah. It wasn't Carson Wentz, was it?
No.
No, it wasn't 2015.
What
2016.
year? Who? Mahomes, Trubisky,
Watson.
And
And,
there was somebody taken before Trubisky, though. Trubisky wasn't the first taker. There was another quarterback taken before him.
RG3?
No. He was the
it
second player
2017?
taken.
Because Goff was taken first in 2016.
Who went after him then in the draft? That may have been. It may have been Goff.
Huh?
Might have been Goff and Mahomes.
Myles Garrett, Mitch Trubisky, Solomon Thomas, Leonard Fournette, Corey Davis, Jamal Adams, John Ross, Patrick Mahomes,
John Ross went before Patrick Mahomes. Oof.
Deshaun Watson,
There's another quarterback in that draft, too.
Malik Hooker, Marlon Humphrey, O.J. Howard, down to 23, Evan Ingram,
No,
Jabril Peppers,
I thought he was like a second or third rounder.
But you know what? That's still not a bad class of people
TJ Watt.
other than John Ross. I mean, but there's been a lot of good football. There was a lot of good players. Jamal Adams is a freaking stud, man. I tell you what, he's a game changer. Seattle made a good trade when they traded for him and Carlos Dunlap. And then they get beat by fucking the Giants.
Dalvin Cook, number 41 to the Minnesota Vikings.
He's 41st.
What a pick. He's a player.
Shit.
I'm not seeing another. Joe Mixon was in that same draft class.
But the quarterbacks, we hit a couple. We've hit the last couple of years. We've hit a lot of young quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Because we've gotten rid of a lot of the old guys. Like Drew Brees is done. I don't think he'll play again after this year. Taysom Hill, I still don't think he's a quarterback.
How long's Tom Brady got? Just
Juju
this year?
Smith-Schuster,
One more year.
62.
He'll play one more year at least, no matter what happens this year. He's had some really good games, and he's had some games that he doesn't look very good.
Right.
Phillip Rivers has not been bad, but he's not going to put them nowhere. I don't even know if they're going to make the playoffs. They're going to borderline playoff team right now, I think.
I'm not seeing another quarterback on here.
It may have been whenever year that I thought there was more than the three of them. I thought there was somebody else taken. Trubisky will not have a job next year.
Neither should Foles.
No, they're both horrible. No. Chicago needs quarterback bad. Bad.
Maybe Wentz goes to Chicago.
Boy, they've already got retreads from everywhere else. I don't think so. I'd see him more going to Indy than Chicago. Chicago needs to develop a quarterback, try to find one. They're hard to find. This year, there's 3 good quarterbacks coming out, I think. There's Lawrence. There's the kid from North Dakota State, supposed to be really good. And there's one more, and I'm trying to think who it is. Oh, the kid from Ohio State. Fields, is that his name?
Oh, yeah. Fields.
They got 3 good quarterbacks coming out this year, that we know of, or 3 of them. So we'll see what. I guess Gardner Minshew, is he out now?
I don't think he's out. He's just like limited.
Dumb, isn't it?
Yeah.
I don't think he's that bad a quarterback.
No, I mean, he was getting me decent fantasy points.
But I mean, I don't think he was that bad an NFL quarterback.
No.
I just think they don't have a lot to go with him.
Oh, fuck. Yeah, he doesn't have much to work around.
And see, that's what's killing Zeke and trading him like Jacksonville. They don't need a running back. They got that Robinson kid. He looks good.
Well, they need wide receivers.
They've got Chark and those other ones. I don't think the problem.
Yeah, but they haven't been. The DJ Chark's not what he was last year.
He's been hurt all year.
Who's your favorite in the NFC?
God,
Who's your favorite in the AFC? We'll make it easy.
Well, Steelers, obviously.
You think the Steelers are going to Super Bowl?
Even after Sunday?
Yeah. You got to get that humble pie coming in the playoffs.
I think Pittsburgh is the most unimpressive one-loss team at this late in the season ever.
I think they're the most overrated one-loss team.
See, we both.
I think if they play Kansas City, divisional round, I think it's going to be.
I didn't say it was a beautiful 11-1.
No,
they win ugly. There's no doubt about it. I'll give you that.
And you said it. You said it. They play to the level of whoever they play.
They do. They always do.
Would they score 17 points on Sunday?
Yeah.
If they play Kansas City in the playoffs, they'll score 42 points.
Yeah, 38, 42 points.
My Super Bowl pick right now is the Buffalo Bills versus. I'm going to go with Green Bay just because
I don't think so.
They can score points and they need to, and they play pretty good defense. If I was going to take a wild fucking horse team in the NFC, I would take the winner of the NFC East just because they're getting hot right now, Washington or Green Bay. It's a fucked up 2020 year, and that would be the cherry on the top of 2020.
Told you, I said, look, watch, Washington will end up being in like the NFC Championship.
They could. The Giants have played a little bit better.
Both teams have a pretty decent defense. Washington's defensive line is as good as anybody in football's.
Their line's good, and their backfield's pretty fucking good too.
They're not a bad football team, and defensively and they run the ball pretty good. And Alex Smith don't fuck up a lot.
Talk about comeback.
Yes, right there.
Everybody's posting about him. He's fucking
good for him. Good. Glad to see that.
He should be a shoe-in for the comeback player of the year.
That'll give him a place in fucking Canton just for being a man.
Might be fucking MVP.
I think.
Who do you think's going to win the Super Bowl?
I think it's hard for me to say Green Bay just because I'm a fan.
Well, I'm not a fan, but I think that with their quarterback and Devontae Adams and their defense.
Could you imagine if Pittsburgh and the Redskins was the Super Bowl?
That'd be awesome.
That's for some odd reason.
Pittsburgh and the Redskins?
Yeah. People are like.
Washington football team.
People are like, the motherfuckers are drinking. I think Green Bay, Devontae Adams might be the best receiver in football.
And I took Julio Jones over him.
And they've got.
How do you feel about that?
The Jones
Terrible.
kid. The running back's one of the best running backs in the league.
I wouldn't go that far.
Speaking of, how's Michael Thomas doing for you?
He's actually the bright spot of my football team this week.
But so who would you take? I think Green Bay and fucking. I'm taking
It's
Buffalo
hard to not
over
say
the
Green
Chiefs.
Bay, but Green Bay and Kansas City I could definitely see. I still think it's Kansas City. And then
if you had to pick somebody besides Kansas City, because that's everybody's pick. If you ask who's in the Super Bowl right now, it's going to be Kansas City and somebody.
Yeah.
Kansas City's everybody's pick.
Yeah.
Who's your pick other than Kansas City? Because the NFC is going to be changing for everybody. Other than Kansas City, who would you pick to be in the Super Bowl?
I don't think Pittsburgh. No offense, Josh. I think they're just too ugly. Buffalo looks pretty good.
Josh Allen is a freaking stud.
Josh Allen's good. I mean,
I'm glad I picked him up on fantasy.
it's hard to not say Pittsburgh too. They lost Bud Dupree though, so that's going to hurt quite a bit.
Yeah.
And they lost Devin Bush. Their
Devin
defense
Bush.
is down a little bit. That hurts them a little bit. But they got the fucking ball hawk and Minka Fitzpatrick. And you imagine how good Miami would be with him.
Fuck, man. That was, oh, God. No, he come from
the Dolphins
In a trade.
for a first-round pick.
No. What am I trying to say? Oh, speaking of the Dolphins, they're fucking 8-4.
They're not a bad football team. They got a good coach.
That's who would ever thought the Dolphins be 8-4 right behind the Bills?
He coached really good last year.
And Tua.
Yeah.
They got Tua going.
Did you see
Not
what
Fitzpatrick.
Did you see what Mike Tomlin said about Chase Young after the game? He said, Chase Young is a great football player. He goes, I'm sad that I'll never be bad enough to get a drafted guy like that.
It's a little backhanded comment.
You know, he said he's a hell of a player, but I'll never ever be in the position that I'll get a drafted guy like that.
Maybe
Which
he'll
he's
trade
right.
for him. Maybe he'll trade for
Well,
him.
he just said draft. He never said I won't be able to sign for
That's
him or
right.
trade for him. He
Trade
said
for him.
I'll never be in a position to draft a player like that.
Yeah.
Is he a Hall of Fame coach?
Yes,
Tomlin?
obviously.
Oh, yeah.
Tomlin.
You don't think so?
For sure.
He's won a Super Bowl.
He's a good coach.
He's never not had 10 wins in a season, I think.
Nah.
Is he 14 years now of at least 10 wins? Or he's never had a losing record.
I think we might have won 9-7 a few years ago.
He's a good coach. I mean, he's better than Jason Garrett, don't you think?
Yeah, a little bit.
Jason Garrett's horrible. But Jason Garrett sure won more games than Mike Tomlin has. Or Mike
McCarthy. Yeah, that's a hot mess.
McCarthy have a job next year?
Yeah.
I think so, too.
I don't know why you would fire anybody with COVID.
When they changed, the guy at Detroit needed to go. They should have never ever got rid of
but
the
why
other
do
guy.
it in week 13?
They should have kept him the whole
Week
season.
12.
What do you think Dallas Cowboys, America's team, most popular team in America still, what do you think they're going to have to do? Because they're not good defensively. They've got some bad contracts. DeMarcus Lawrence has been a dog since he got his big money. What do you think they're going to do?
They might as well tank
Start
it and fucking
sloughing players off.
tank and trade.
Well, see, they've got all them big contracts. They can't do it. They've got big contracts on both sides of the ball with players that are mediocre, but they paid them like they're superstars.
Yeah.
I mean, like Amari Cooper.
Kind of like Joe Flacco a couple years ago.
Yeah, Amari Cooper going to be paid what, $19 million next year.
Probably.
Shanahan was trying to say, "Oh, well, he'll get traded for a first-round pick." Why would someone give
Who?
Cowboys Trevor?
Oh.
Why would someone give the
No,
Cowboys
who was he talking about?
Amari Cooper?
Oh,
Why would anybody give Dallas a first-round draft pick for Amari Cooper? I would. He don't show up half the time. He's good at home.
Yeah, I don't. He's not worth a first round.
In fact,
draft
no, I
pick.
would give you a third round maybe for him, but you also got to take that $20 million contract on. I mean, would you rather have Stephon Diggs or Amari Cooper?
Stephon Diggs.
Would you rather have Cooper Kupp or Amari Cooper? Or Amari? I'd rather have Cooper Kupp.
Cup.
Yeah.
my little Cooper Cup.
DK Metcalf?
DK.
Tyler Lockett.
Tyler Lockett.
DeAndre Hopkins.
Literally everybody except Amari Cooper.
Who would you, on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers receivers, who would you drop for Amari Cooper?
Nobody.
You wouldn't. Chris Godwin, Mike Evans, or Antonio Brown, you wouldn't trade for Amari Cooper. That's what I'm saying. So I don't think but the Cowboys are stuck with this big money on him. And then they drafted C.D. Lamb. I think Michael Gallup would go to a different team, would be a really good ball player for somebody. He's not a bad player.
There's a lot of people in Dallas said if they went to a different ball. Yeah, even Zeke.
Zeke seems to be somewhere they have a line again.
Yeah.
They don't have he don't have the explosiveness. I think he's lost his step, but they're tied up
like
to
he
him
did.
for 3 more years. They're like they're like the Eagles are. They've got they've got a lot of money that they can't get rid of him.
The biggest waste of fucking money in the world.
Wentz.
Carson Wentz.
Oh God,
Oh, yeah.
it's bad.
What's it? 25 or 30 million next year.
25 next year.
No, it's more than that. I thought it was like 30.
No, 26 next year if they cut him, and 15 the next year if they cut him.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, so they can't cut him. Now, if Indy's going to take him off the hook of them, they're good. I'm telling you right now, if Indy offers Philadelphia a 7th-round draft pick, or if they used 3 sweaty jock straps and an old igloo cooler for him, take them fucking sweat socks in the cooler. Throw back the cooler.
A half a cooler of ice
Yeah.
and 2 awesome burritos.
Yeah. You know, back in the 60s and shit, trades were done like that shit.
Oh, yeah.
You know, Babe Ruth got traded for a fucking play, I think. A Broadway play is what Babe Ruth went from Boston to New York.
Somebody got traded for like Coke in the locker room, I think.
Like cocaine or
Coca-Cola. Like a Coke. It was on Moneyball is what it was on. He said, I'll trade him to you, but I want this, and because the Oakland A's were so shitty, they couldn't stock the pop machine in the players' clubhouse.
Yeah.
And he said, part of this trade is you're going to stock.
As long as you stock it with Coca-Cola every game.
You stock my Coke machine for the rest for next year.
The guy who owned the A's, was that Chat?
His
name was Charlie something. I can't remember his name.
This is according to Moneyball, the movie.
Well, that's Billy. That's about on Billy Bean, I think.
Based off of a true story.
Yeah.
Right.
That guy changed the dynamics of baseball with all that shit he was doing.
No. Here it is. I knew I was right. I knew it was way more than that. If not on roster in 2021, $59.2 million off of the salary cap. And if he's not on the roster in 2022, it's 24.5.
Yeah.
You can't fucking move on that. $60 million?
Oh, Howie Roseman's supposed to be the best
How the fuck did he get
GM.
$60 million for one goddamn year?
He had a hell of a year.
But, yeah, I mean, he's going to cost
23 years old and the MVP in the NFL as a quarterback. I see why they did it. They just never come back. But they also, that team won the Super Bowl with Nick Foles. That's how good that football team was.
Right.
Since then, that team has gotten the same players, but they're like the Dallas Cowboys. They can't realize that those players are not there no more. Like Dallas's great offensive line is done.
Yeah.
Dallas would be better off to start all over with their offensive line other than maybe Travis Frederick or Zach Martin, whoever it is. The rest of them guys are done. You know?
Now all they can do is draft.
Who, Philly?
They can't afford to trade. Dallas can.
Dallas?
Yeah.
Oh, Dallas can't sign no free agents or nothing. They got to sign. Dallas is going to have to cut some players they have.
Yeah, but what do you cut from?
I don't know. I mean, they've got a lot of players that are underperforming. I mean, Dallas doesn't have a lot of young talent that's just overwhelming at their position. And that's what the people don't. Their quarterback is probably their best overachiever at his position. Yeah. And they've got him not signed to a long-term deal. And they're trying to play hardball with him. They don't want to get into a situation like Philadelphia's in.
You talking about Andy Dalton or
Dak Prescott?
Dak, okay.
To sign Dak, to franchise Dak next year cost them $39 million, I think, $40 million. But where are you going to go and get another quarterback?
There isn't many.
No, I mean, they've got Andy Dalton there. They can't win with him. Have they won a game since he's been there?
Dalton?
Yeah. They beat Minnesota, but was he quarterbacking or was that Gilbert or whoever quarterbacking?
I thought he was quarterbacking.
Okay, well, he's won one game this year. They actually have won 3 games this year, but they won 2 because they shouldn't have got – the Atlanta game was a complete fucking debacle.
I didn't even watch it.
But that's when they the onside kick they recovered.
Oh, yeah, I did see about that.
But other than that, they basically have won 2 games this year. So they won 1 game with Dak. Technically, they've won 2, but they really – I mean, they're not very good.
Right.
But their offense is horrible.
I don't know.
And the crowds in football have changed this too, because places like Seattle that are hard to play at and Kansas City, they don't have any home field advantage no more.
Yeah. Well, hell, global warming, Pittsburgh can't play in the cold anymore.
I know it. That's a big equalizer.
But most of their games they play are going to be with rivals from their own division.
Yeah.
And those are all cold weather teams. Cleveland, Baltimore.
Baltimore doesn't get fucking cold.
Cincinnati.
It's cold.
Yeah, I guess it was cold.
Baltimore ain't much. How far is Baltimore from Pittsburgh?
6 hours southeast.
That far?
6 hours?
Yeah.
Whew.
I didn't think it was that far.
I didn't either. I thought it was.
But it's not very far south.
Maybe 5.5 hours.
I'm going to have to look this up now.
But I think that the government is the weather is being ran by an anti-waterfowl person. And is just making it hot as balls.
Maybe
in the wintertime.
is running it.
PETA's running it, and they know it's going to fuck with the migration.
Okay, are they after the hunting industry? Or are they after the snow skiing industry and the snowmobile industry?
All three.
Hunting.
Somebody that watched.
You can make artificial snow, Jeff.
Somebody that watched
It's gotta
Jack
get
Frost
cold,
as
though.
a kid,
Huh?
and
It's got to get cold, though.
Well, shit.
poor Blake, he's going to have to go fucking start farming in January if it stays hot
I know,
like
that's what he
this.
said.
Fuck. He's not going to have any snow on the ground.
It's only 3 hours and 45 minutes to Pittsburgh from Baltimore.
What?
I'm just on the fucking deal right now. Just looked it up on directions. 3 hours and 45 minutes. From Pittsburgh to Baltimore, Maryland is 3 hours and 48 minutes.
Let me look what it is from my house.
3 hours if you're with Jeff.
Yeah, so it's a 3 hour trip for me.
Are y'all going to the casino? Josh has got the day off coming up. He said he would just meet you at the
Yeah, I'm
casino.
gonna meet you guys at the casino tomorrow night.
I'm not going to casino tomorrow night.
He said he would.
Yeah,
No, I'm not. I'm not going to be nowhere near there. We're going to be at the other end of Oklahoma.
You're 45 minutes from it.
Not from Windstar.
well, Comanche.
Oh, you're.
I'm not
you're-
going to Comanche. That hadn't done no good over there lately.
You're the Windstar man.
I'd rather go to Windstar than Comanche.
Oh yeah, it's 5.5 hours from my house.
Okay, well, from Baltimore
So I'm
3
still
hours is
correct.
not much difference in weather change. That's like here at Oklahoma City. It's not that big a deal.
Shit.
If they're having winter in Pittsburgh, Baltimore's not very far away.
Jeff, how far away is Amarillo?
It's 3.5 hours.
Okay, what happened the other weekend? Did it snow up there and
The
rain
temperature
here?
wasn't that much difference, though. It's 10
Well,
degrees difference.
The fucking weather's different.
You said it's not cold there.
That rain was pretty fucking cold.
It's like talking to Trevor Shanahan right now, isn't it? Just argue all the time. That
Don't-
must be a Maryland thing.
Don't you fucking put that bad juju on me. Ever put that
He
on me.
hasn't gotten on anybody on Facebook lately. I've noticed last week I hadn't seen one argument that he's in.
I'm proud of him.
He's been busy.
He likes to debate.
Well, I guess he's had a big shoot this week.
He's got a big shoot this week.
I could. I don't know.
Old Blake.
I don't know.
Mikey hadn't fucked up too much
What?
He hasn't.
today.
Today he didn't do wrong.
Yeah, today.
The only reason you're mad is because he ate the enchilada.
I could have
That's
fucking
it.
smacked the shit out of that boy last night.
So Sonya, who works
You know,
out here,
and honestly, when I sent the text message out about us doing the podcast, I'm surprised he's not here.
well, I am too because he wants to be on here all the time. So Sonya made enchiladas last night.
Our Mexican help.
Mexican lady that works for us. Great. Gabriel that works for us, his mom. She works out here. Anyway, she made enchiladas, and they were very good. Were they, Andy?
I don't want
Are
to
they
say
Eddie?
this in front of Stoner.
They were very good, weren't they?
They were-
No, they looked very good.
They
And
were
so-
good.
There was 4 enchiladas left.
Yep.
Josh was standing holding his plate. Mikey steps up to the bat in front of him. Courtesy would
You
say,
didn't have a plate yet.
I got up to get a plate. Chris and Blake were standing in line waiting.
courtesy would have said you would have taken 2
Or one.
or 1.
One.
At the most, 2.
At the most, 2. Yes.
Mikey took 3.
3
No,
of the 4.
he had 4 on
Oh.
his plate.
Okay.
And Gabriel said, "Oh, I sent a picture to Bo.
Save one.
Save one." He was like, "Well, he's not here." And he fucking puts one down, and I go.
That
and
wasn't
turn
gonna
around.
make it. It wasn't gonna make it anyways.
I said, "Mikey, why the fuck did you take the last 4 that were in the tray just sitting there?" He was like, "Well, dude, everybody out there got them." I said, "Don't you see fucking 2-3 people standing back here waiting to get fucking?"
I went up there in the line and I opened them up, and Tony had gotten his out already. So I took 2, and Michelle goes, "Jeff, save me 1." So I got another one so Michelle could have one. So I ate half of mine, so 1.5. So me and Michelle got 1.5. So we had 3
Yeah.
between us. Mikey, he was gonna get the whole thing.
Yeah,
He was walking. I've not seen him walk like that. He was walking with a purpose.
that fat fuck had a mission to get to the microwave in front of all you guys.
Oh, I know. And I told him,
man.
I said, I don't know what the fuck you're doing. You can get behind me.
He said the one that looks like it was a third was a half one. I was like, yeah, because you fucking ate the other half already. You can see it in that video Tony sent. Oh, man, I was pissed.
Yeah, you were.
Yeah, you were all hurt all over.
Fuck, man.
And then, so the last one, Bo didn't even eat it.
It sat there, and Tony
You couldn't give me the fucking Mega Millions to eat that
Somebody
goddamn.
last night told you. I think Tony said, "Josh, eat that." I said, "That motherfucker ain't eating that thing for $1,000. He wouldn't eat that enchilada right now."
No.
Fuck
Not
you,
happening.
curly-headed fuck. He needs a goddamn haircut.
All over the enchilada.
All over an enchilada. That's when you know the hunting's tough.
Did you see what his T-shirt said today?
Testicle Festival.
Testicle Festival.
If you're questioning being gay or not,
And you're wearing a fucking Testicle Festival T-shirt, you probably sucked a little bit of dick in your life. And I'm not talking for money either.
Not like Andy Bennett said it at a bus stop.
Oh,
No.
hell no. God, he told Thomas, he was like, well, there's a lot more fun than fucking sucking dick at a truck stop.
and if you've ever sucked dick at a truck stop, you would know this is way better.
Oh,
What a character.
That fucking guy. But yeah, that last night was little, got a little tense.
and then I told Michelle, I said, Mikey, I talked to Logan last night, and I told Logan, I said, Mikey's not a bad kid at all. He was in high school last year.
Yeah.
And sometimes I got to understand that.
Well,
And he's a spoiled only child. And I said, I got to understand that. And I said, he just doesn't get it sometimes. He says stuff that he doesn't do without thinking. And it's because he's 18 years
he
old.
fucking drives his truck without thinking, too.
What do you do there?
Ran over those fucking buckets.
ran-
Oh, yeah,
we
okay,
gotta
yeah,
do
yeah.
buckets.
We had to talk about that.
That'll be on next episode.
Yep. But
We gotta
but
get him over here.
He needs, if we're going to bring that up, he needs to
Yeah.
be over here to defend himself.
What a fucking debacle.
But he is young.
Jeff, he enjoys his
We're working
sleep.
on him.
yeah, I called him yesterday, and I go, what are you doing? Oh, I'm taking a nap. I said, it's not nap time yet.
No, don't bother him today.
Okay.
Don't bother him right now because I don't have another camera set up.
Okay. But anyways,
And Jeff is going to send me hunting with him in the morning. Can you believe that?
we got to all work together.
Well, I know. I'll work with them.
Hey,
It's fine.
I have to ride in the truck with my brother sometimes.
So don't fucking don't eat the last enchilada.
Let's give it a
Last
couple days
four.
before we pair them up.
Shit, lady.
That was the conversation at my house when I walked in the door too last night.
Yeah, Zach was texting me about it.
Yeah, I'm like, well, it's no big deal.
Yeah, he's like, are the guides? What did he say exactly? Is there discontent amongst the guides? I'm like, oh, it's fucking enchilada and
Fucking
hunting's tough,
enchilada.
and
I
The
told
hunting
you,
part, I won't get upset about the hunting.
well, it just grinds on you.
I told him last night. I said, I don't know that there's that big a freaking issue. I said, he ate a freaking
I don't think it- I
enchilada
don't-
today.
no.
I said, it's just a damn. I said,
Is there hate and discontent amongst the guides? I'm like, it's just
it's
It's
is
not
what it
it's
is.
not the food. It's just the fact that
He didn't
why'd
think
you
of others.
take the last fucking four.
Right.
right. He didn't think of anybody
Four,
else.
not one, not. Oh, there's only one left in there. Let me take it. That's just
Right.
like, oh, you.
I'm gonna tell her next time
lose.
she sends some fucking enchiladas
Shitty,
out here.
shitty,
Some two
shitty
trays.
timing for everybody
Golly.
else.
Doesn't she know how many people work out
Yeah.
here?
Chris didn't get any enchiladas at
I
that
didn't.
time. You didn't, and Bo hadn't.
Yep.
So it was you, Chris, Bo, and Mikey.
And-
So
Four.
what's that? 4?
Yeah.
And there's 4 enchiladas left.
Oh,
And usually-
how about that?
Usually, I do not. I always am the last one to make sure everybody else gets something. Or I
Well,
wouldn't
that's
have had one.
half
if
the
it-
reason I
it
didn't
was
get
an
one
issue.
yet, because I'd rather,
I try
get
to
everything.
Yeah, I try to let everybody else get something. But it's typical. And I told Zach last night, I said, listen, I ain't getting in the middle of all that shit. It's stupid shit. I said, it's guide stuff. I said, just like in the rooms, they work out their own problems. If I have to get involved with something over there, they don't, because this is the way we're going to do it. Otherwise, I'll let everybody work out. They're grown men. They can do their own thing. But he's 18 and he doesn't
19.
understand, or 19. And it's going to take a while. 10 years from now, he's either going to be a real fuck up or he's going to look back and think, well, it's fucking stupid.
Yeah.
I mean, and the jury's out to see how he does in 10 years from now.
Well,
10
I'll be
years.
sure to keep up with
In
that.
10 years right now, he'll have the same fucking haircut.
Fucking dirty Sanchez stash. I said, Mikey, I'll get some clippers. We'll cut your beard off, trim your mustache up, fucking give you a haircut, and you can look fucking presentable instead of when you come in the fucking kitchen at night and your hair's like this. Just like one side's waving at you, and there's like a little part in the middle. Like fucking Moses just took his hair and just parted it. God, he's...
You know, last year it was you and Bo that kind of butted heads, and this year, now you and Bo are getting along great,
I got along Bo last year. He just made some stupid decisions too
like Mikey.
Because he was young.
that pissed me off.
See?
Now Bo's not as bad as he was when I first got here.
So you're telling me Blake don't ever do nothing stupid that pisses you off?
No?
Never. Blake does a lot of dumb shit.
Well, to himself.
Well, He's done some dumb stuff that's cost me some money a few times.
Well,
but it kind of goes
not
with it.
costing me money.
No, but that's the way Blake is.
He doesn't cost me my sanity.
There's some times I've wanted to pull my hair out.
I guess at the boss's standpoint, you got to do that.
Oh, well, I just kind of accept kind of what it is.
Yeah.
I take things as a whole collective here.
Right.
We're going to have things happen during the year. It's, of course, if you operate in any business, you're going to have things that happen. Like Mikey running over the buckets. It's fucking stupid shit, but shit happens all the time. It's kind of like Blake leaving the trailer door open and losing some goose decoys going down the road.
But, like...
He didn't do it on purpose, but he just gets in a hurry and don't think.
Yeah, but...
Andy running over the kid's leg.
Well...
That was the kid's fault. He should have been working.
Yeah, it could have been fucking Blake's fault, too.
How was it Blake's fault? Andy was driving.
I needed a spotter.
Bullshit. That was Andy's fault.
OSHA regulations, you have to have a spotter when you're backing up a trailer.
I guaranteed Andy said, hey, I'm going to back this trailer up. Watch me.
No, he didn't either.
I said, I'm backing this trailer up.
That's all he said. I'm going to back the trailer up.
Well, Blake
Nobody said get the kid out of the way.
Trailer is moving.
Why? Why is that kid sitting down?
Why
anyway
are you blaming it on Zach? On Blake?
I didn't blame it on Blake. I just said you could.
Said, well, no, you couldn't. Andy was in.
Blake knew that I was moving the trailer because I told him.
Yeah.
I said, to get this other A-frame down, I'm going to move this trailer to create a wind block.
In a court of law. And that kid they sued us.
Little Timmy.
Who's responsible? The guy driving. It's his responsibility.
Now there's a double hump.
Where was the spotter at for Mikey that said, hey, there's some buckets back here?
Mikey put his buckets in front of his pickup.
Okay, but still, who was the spotter?
He doesn't need a spotter.
Hey,
10 seconds before.
Whoa. Are you backing up?
He's pulling forward.
I thought he hit the buckets backing up.
No, he put them in front of his pickup.
Oh, never mind.
And put the motherfucker in drive,
I thought
and
he
then
backed
drove
into
off.
him.
Drove off with them.
Within 25 seconds, Jeff, he pulled up. I am backed up to the trailer, hooking up. I am finishing my last couple adjustments on my lights, plugging them in, making sure the trailer's good. I look over. Mikey pulls up. Truck's still running. Headlights on. Gets out. Grabs buckets out of the back of his truck. Goes around his open door and tosses them in front of his truck. Proceeds to get back into his truck, shuts the door, puts it in drive, and goes forward and crushes the buckets.
Fucking idiot. See, I didn't hear this whole end of it.
Yeah. That's what he did.
Well, he's paying for them buckets at his next check then.
And then, didn't he drive halfway around to where we park until it got so loud and he hops out and oh, fuck.
He drove and stopped and heard something and then drove again towards Austin's pickup truck. And me and Austin are looking at each other like, what the fuck is he doing? And it was loud. He got out and he was like, oh, shit. And backs up, and then they just fucking drag again. I was like, why didn't you just go under and pull them out instead of trying to back off of them?
And then we get to dinner, so we'll have a part 2 with Mikey's side of the story. And I'm asking him about it. He's like,
no, it was breakfast.
Yeah, it was breakfast that morning. It had just happened. I'm like, Mikey, what the fuck is going on? Well, it was either A-frames or the buckets. Would you choose? I'm like, no, you don't fuck. It's not an either. It's not an either or. You hop your ass out of the pickup, you move the buckets, and then you proceed.
The kid's already been.
It's not either or.
He's the hostess at the breakfast every morning now. Tony makes him go and lock on all the doors because he was late.
Good.
And then he was late for that.
Yeah.
Then that some bitch, he sat down in his truck for 25 minutes while Bo was getting the trailer ready, and as soon as Bo was done and pulled off, Mikey just pulls away. Shit, he didn't even fucking it out.
He was watching that show.
Yeah.
Show about puberty.
Who the fuck watches a cartoon, mind you, about fucking teenagers going through puberty?
Maybe one that hasn't.
While wearing a T-shirt that says Testicle Festival.
Testicle Festival.
Is there really a testicle festival?
He says it's in Nebraska. He fucking knows all about it.
He's been.
I'll look this up, see.
Who knows?
Might be on Grindr.
Who knows? Oh, Mikey.
Fuck.
But anyway.
That's the life at the Big Honker Lodge this year.
Oh, shit.
It's something every day. For sure. All right. You ready to get off here? We need some cold weather.
I need a cigarette.
We need to do the pick'em.
Yeah, we're going to do as many podcasts as we can the next 6 weeks, 8 weeks. We are very busy right now, and we will try to get as many as we can out.
Yeah.
Beautiful. All right, folks. See ya.
See ya.
Okay. Testicle. The Testicle Festival is about eating testicles.
That's what he's got on his team.